We're a little over the halfway point of high school football heading into week 7. Luke Matheson joins me now. And Luke, we kind of wanted a little bit more time to break down each classification. Two-way, you really know who the heavy hitters are every single year, especially now Rising looking great since they beat Junction City. Can we expect them to kind of make that step up? And Junction City, all these teams that are really going to make a playoff run.
You know, there's several good teams in Class 2A right now. England's looking really good. You got Mount Ida, who I think could be a sleeper in Class 2A. Do not count them out whatsoever. But then you got Junction City and you got Rising. The 8-2A conference has produced more state champions than any other conference in Class 2A football over the past 10 years. And this is a year that you have two heavy hitters. And when Rising beat Junction City in week 3, I talked to Clay Toddy, and he told me, he says, you know what, if we win a state championship, we're going to have to beat them again somewhere along the line. Same thing for everybody in 2A. If you're going to win a 2A state championship, you're going to have to beat Junction City. You're going to have to beat Rising, whether it's in the playoffs or in Little Rock at a state championship game.
The road goes through South Arkansas. Well, how about 3A? Let's talk a little bit about
3A, several teams looking really good. Smackover's still looking good. I like Glen Rose. Glen Rose, I remember seeing them during the summer at some pad camps, and honestly, they didn't look very good. Even Coach Mark Keener told me, man, you know, he was worried.
I don't know.
And here they are. They are going to play Prescott Friday night. That's where I will be Friday night. They're going to play for a conference championship. And Glen Rose is a team definitely to watch out for, and don't count out Prescott either. You know, those two teams right there, they're going to play each other for a conference championship, but they both are capable of going all the way to the Rock, but don't count out Smackover either.
It's really hard to count out Jordan Jones, especially he played in that state title game last year. Obviously, he's a Razorback commit. How about the 4A? A little bit more difference. We saw Warren kind of play PA, put a lot of points on PA, but Pulaski Academy's Pulaski Academy. Talk about the 4A.
Yeah, you know, Class 4A going into the year, that was the one classification that I was like, it was hard for me to pick out one team. You know, usually I can pick out one team and say, this is who I'm going to watch, this is who I think's got a chance. That was hard to do. It would have been easy to go with Warren, but they graduated so many guys. But now look at them. They're right there. They're in the top 5. You know, Bo Hembry's doing a great job. But then you got Robinson. Robinson's probably my favorite right now.
They look good.
They look really good. And they got all the talent in the world to get the job done. Hamburg isn't looking bad. Hamburg, they defeated Star City this past Friday night. They're going to lock it up with Warren in a couple of weeks. That's going to be a tremendous football game, Hamburg and Warren, potentially for a conference championship.
Important to note too, Robinson, a 4A school, actually beat a 7A school. They beat Heritage at home this year, so you know they can handle the big boys. Right. Now we get to the big boys, 5A. Can you pick anybody but Pulaski Academy at this
Pulaski
point?
Academy has been theirs from day one. If Pulaski Academy loses 5A and they don't win a state championship in 5A this year, it's going to be the shock of the game of the year. There's some other teams in 5A that's looking good. I've been very impressed with Hot Springs Lakeside. Coach Jared McBride is doing a tremendous job down there. Colt Housley, their running back, has been putting up 200-300 yards every week. Here's the kicker. He's had 3 broke ribs since week 2.
Ooh.
I saw him playing through it with 2 broke ribs. I saw him a couple weeks ago when they defeated Camden Fairview, and he had 3 broke ribs and ran for almost 300 yards and about 4 touchdowns that night. And like they didn't even affect him.
Well, you mentioned Lakeside too, big game with Hope, obviously. Another Razorback commit, McTelvin a game. 6A, kind of the same story. Is Pine Bluff going to lose to anybody this year?
You know what? If there's a team in 6A that can beat Pine Bluff, it's going to be Greenwood. And if that's going to happen, it's probably going to be at War Memorial. I think it would be a disservice for Arkansas high school fans.
That is a dream matchup.
If you cannot see Pine Bluff and Greenwood in Little Rock. Going to be a good matchup in a couple of weeks. Pine Bluff and El Dorado. El Dorado was shocked by Texarkana. Texarkana got their first win Friday night, beat El Dorado, but that's a rivalry game. There's some of them rivalry games you just got to throw everything out the window. And El Dorado and Pine Bluff in 2 weeks will be for the conference championship more than likely. Don't count out Benton. Benton made a run last year. They have the potential to do it again this year, but Greenwood and Pine Bluff, there's a separation there, and I just don't think there's anybody in 6A that can touch those 2 teams.
Well, 7A, we know it's been the 7A West show for the past decade. Looks like in Central Arkansas, Cabot's going to wrap up the East. Bryant probably going to wrap up the Central. Does Cabot or Bryant stand any chance of knocking off a Fayetteville, a Harbor, or maybe a Bentonville? Any chance?
Cabot is a team that will have a chance. They play that ball control offense that they can keep the ball out of the hands of those high-powered Northwest Arkansas teams. They can beat 1 or 2 of them. I don't know if they can beat Fayetteville. I don't know if anybody can beat Fayetteville right now. Bryant, we're going to see what Bryant's made of come Friday night when they go up against Greenwood. Greenwood's already knocked off a 7A team. Can they do it 2 weeks in a row? They're capable. I'm telling you right now, Greenwood will be capable of doing it. They have the offensive firepower. Their defense, what I saw Friday night, their defense, more especially their secondary, was phenomenal against Conway. And that's going to be a great football game. If you're in the River Valley up around Greenwood, you might want to go see that one Friday night.
4 weeks left in the regular season. We can't wait to see how it all unfolds, but there's only one way to do it. You got to go watch them. Luke, thanks a ton, man. We really appreciate it. Remember, keep all your high school information up to date on thv11.com and head over to Luke's website, arkansasvarsity.com, for all the info you ever need. So stay with us.